I'm Kathy Henry, and I am a licensed clinical social worker in the Indianapolis area, and I am proud to work for Healing Hearts of Indy. Today I would like to talk about why is your wife or girlfriend so emotional, or maybe it's even your daughter. So I want to talk about why they are so emotional, and also how it is that you should deal with it. Whether you're a man or a woman, it's still relevant information on how to deal with a woman's emotions. So women are emotional creatures. That's how we were made. We were made that way for a reason, for child nurturing and raising and family bonding and all of these things. And that's, we were made that way because of our role that we were originally created for. Men were made differently. They were made less emotional so that they could do what they needed to do here on this earth. And so it is, a lot of times it's very hard, especially for a man, to understand a woman's emotions. And of course they're clouded by a lot of things like hormones and so forth. And so, it's really hard for you to understand on a normal day, let alone a day when things are extra emotional for whatever reason. So to help you understand why it is that we are so emotional just in general, understand that women, when we start to feel feelings, we feel a lot of them all at once. So it's kind of like there's this big cloud of emotion and we are flooded with it. It's overwhelming. Sometimes it's embarrassing, and we can't help it. We can't help that we are flooded with all of these emotions at one time, and we can't even really make sense of them. They're just coming at us so fast. Picture drinking from a fire hose. So on top of that, we are verbal processors. And so we often cannot make sense of what it is that we are feeling until we start talking about it. Now that's very complicated and difficult for men because they want to figure it out and they want to fix it. And when we are just processing it and it's sort of coming up like verbal vomit, they want to cut to the chase and get to where they can fix it. So it gets very difficult for men and women to process through this together. Women might even blame you in the confusion of it all and then later realize that it really wasn't about you, but you were just the easiest person to pin it on at the moment. So when we understand that that's what's happening and we can allow ourselves to move through that process instead of trying to fix it or control it or change it, we'll get along a whole lot better. So how is it that you can deal with it in the moment? Number one, what we need from you while we're going through it, you're going to have to find out specifically from your wife or girlfriend or daughter, but I'll tell you some things we don't need. We don't need defensiveness. We don't need anger because it's uncomfortable for you. We certainly don't need you to tell us that we shouldn't feel that way. And we don't need you to cut off and go away from us in the middle of it all because it's too uncomfortable. We kind of need you to just sit with us in it and to be strong enough to let us feel all of these things until we can make sense of it. Ideally, that's what we need. And because a lot of times it's coming at you, just, the fire hose that we are trying to drink from, now we're projecting that onto you and now you're dealing with it. And so it's very common for men to get defensive and, feel anger, tell us we shouldn't feel that way or argue with us about why we shouldn't feel that way or just cut off and go away from it because it's too uncomfortable. But if you respond with those unhealthy methods, what it basically has, and I'm sure you've probably experienced this, it probably has the same experience as throwing gas on a fire. It really just makes the situation worse. So what a woman usually does need when she's feeling all of these emotions is she needs hugs, patience, listening, understanding, or otherwise what we call leaning in, which means we need you to hold on and sit with us through it rather than to run away from it. So if you can give her that, then the hope is that your wife or girlfriend will come out of it with a better understanding of themselves and of herself and what it is that she needs, and it will help you to actually feel closer. This is really tricky because we are so different and men don't understand that. They try to fight that process and it causes all kinds of chaos.